from all our foes. But if they praise instead for all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear. Held to Biafra, consecrated nation, O fatherland, this be our solemn pledge. Defending peace shall be a dedication. Spilling our blood we count a privilege. The waving standard which emboldens the free shall always be a flag of liberty. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible unscathed we'll pass. When we are poised the wounds of battle to heal, we shall remember those who died in mass. Then shall our trumpets build the glorious song of victory. We scarred our minds around. Oh God, protect us from the hidden pitfall. Guide all our movement lest we go astray. Give us the strength to hear the humanist call, to give and not to count their cost each day. Bless those who rule to serve with resoluteness, to make this climb a land of righteousness.
It's Moko.
Mr. Pro, I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. United Nations. I'm going home. Chuku Adama. I'm going home. I'm going back to Biafra. Going back to Biafra. My motherland. Biafra. My fatherland. Biafra. Yeah, the sun
Greetings, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscientious people wherever you are all over the world. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is Biafra Human Rights and Freedom Radio Station, a platform where we try to correct the menace of the past and regarding to the agitation for restoration of the sovereign state of Biafra, and of course making frantic efforts to ensure that we forge ahead at every given stage, time, or disposition as the case may be. Biafra Human Rights and Freedom Radio Station is being anchored by Diokpa Uche Ukafomefo. He hails from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and of course Anambra State is Biafra land. Mazi Uche Ukafomefo is the man who has simply assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption under his watch. I do not expect everyone to understand the mindset behind those words, but very soon you will understand. And I want to bless the Creator because till this very moment, he has held up to his own side of the bargain. This is dignity. This is integrity. This is what man should be, human. And that is why this platform is referred to as Biafran Human Rights and Freedom Radio. We defend the life of those who have been abused. It doesn't matter the camp you belong. Our target is to speak for the collective interest of the Biafran people. Wherever you are as a Biafran, Biafrans in Edo State, Biafrans in Delta State, Biafrans in Benue State, Biafrans in Cross River State, Biafrans in Bayelsa, Biafrans in Akwa Ibom, Biafrans in Abia, Biafrans in Imo State, Biafrans in River State, Biafrans anywhere all over the world. This is your platform. I am George Onyibe, and I come from Abo. Abo is in Anyoma, and Anyoma is in Delta State. And of course, as always, we continue to move this gospel across the globe. We do this with assurance that our people are listening to our voice. Our duty is to speak. And those who will water this message are doing their job already. But the Almighty will make the truth concerning Biafra actually grow in the heart of every son and daughter of the Biafran nation. And so I humble myself before him this evening and I say, we walk on the higher path at this moment, O Lord, where the road is very dark and slippery. But yet we know we walk by your side. Continue to guide us. Continue to lead us, that we may not make mistakes. But even in the midst of these mistakes, that you will guide us with wisdom to be able to skate through. That at the end, every mortal will acknowledge your invisible influence through the visible groups you have created for your people. Now I walk closer on the higher way. Through the darkest night, will you hold my hands? Jesus, guide our way. Oh, you mourn us, for our hearts of heart is bound to you. Now I walk through the valleys low. I will fear no evil. By the water still my soul, my heart will trust in you. Of course, I welcome you this evening, and as always, we will move ahead to our topic considering that time is of the essence. Tonight, it is very important that we sometime go back and forth in order to prove our point. Because any message we give, no matter how entertaining it may be to you, no matter how comforting or how biased it may be to you, if the aim of that message is not properly driven home, and then something is not actually right. Our topic this evening is simple, titled, "The Need to Reconverge in Order to Create a Genuine Platform for Our Freedom." The need to reconverge in order to create a genuine platform that will navigate this journey on the way to freedom. The purpose of this platform, of course, the Biafra nation, is simple. It's just to create room for genuine unification of our people. As of in the time past, even before it was corrupted. On this platform, Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station, of course, under the leadership of the Biafra nation, our target is simple. A lot of people come and say, "Oh, what is your agenda? Well, what is your vision? What is your mission plan?" There are things you people don't understand yet, and we will help you understand. We want to create a genuine platform where everybody can function. And when I mean where everybody can function, we're never telling you all of us are going to be in the same page. But whatever each and every one of us will do, must do, shall do, understand that a day of reckoning is coming, for we shall all redeem accountability. If for some reason justice is perverted against us in that very moment, let it be so. And then we will die with joy in our heart that though the people misunderstood us, but we did the right thing. This is the confidence assurance that drives us. But in the end, who can pervert justice before the Almighty? For your own information, karma is everywhere already. He shall visit everyone. And I tell you the truth, he will pay you back according to the works of your hands. And so, we will not say because we failed before and then we are going to stop. No. As far as there is breath in us, we made a vow. We made a promise to push this struggle to a conclusive and, of course, a logical end. I will have to take us back to time immemorial, even before the balkanization of the Biafra nation. I have to take you back a little bit to enable you to appreciate where we are coming from and exactly where we are going to. Africa is blessed. Whatever led us to this point where we are, it is just a matter of time. Their yoke will be broken from off our neck. I have taken time to study the history of Africa, and I keep saying it is amazing, very fascinating. Out of things that may be considered stupid and foolish, what runs the universe lie beneath them all. When we go back properly back to our root, we're going to look at some of the civilization of the ancient world. Today I speak English, and then you have someone else who can speak Portuguese, French, and every other language. And languages that it looks as if it's normal. But most of us forgot that there are eras where people couldn't even communicate. The father cannot communicate. It's not about the Africans, including the Europeans, the Asians, everybody. As far as you are Homo sapien, there were times we'll never have a unique method of communicating as we have today. And so it takes development, it takes advancement for people to begin to design means of communication. Of course, in the Bible, it is recorded that somewhere along the line, Adam began to give name to things. And so that means there was a time those things they didn't have name. Now, this having been said, bringing Africa at this point in time to make you understand that we are not stupid, not our ancestors. But somewhere along the line we missed the mark. And then we're trying to connect everything back. Not that we might undermine anybody. No. And somehow we need to be proud of who we are. And of course we are. I can assure you that Africa alone, in fact, 3 states in Nigeria has languages that outnumber all the language in the world. This is not sign of weakness. This is not sign of ignorance. This is sign of knowledge. It is sign of wisdom. Highly intellectual people, as few as they may be at a particular area, were able to manufacture a means of communication which no other person can have access to. It gives them a lot of privilege. It helps them to achieve so much, even though before our very eyes we destroyed all of them. You think speaking language is something that falls from the blues? You begin to make a particular sound, and then everybody get acquainted with it. It becomes a means of communication. You are able to refer to everything created, even in the spiritual and in the physical, seen and unseen. And then the next fella will understand what you are saying. Brother, I do not think there is any technology more advanced or sophisticated like creation of languages. We didn't make them. Our fathers before us, our ancestors did. And now why I'm bringing this down is, considering Nigerian state, for instance, we have 3 major regions. We could refer them sincerely as the North, the West, and the East. Every other thing is also part of the process of balkanization. And then when you go to the West, they've been able to institutionalize every aspect of their life. Of course, we can say they are lazy, it's okay for them. We can say they are like this or they are like that, it's okay for them. But if you are a Biafran, I need you to take a mind stroll in the system they have put in place already. It did not start today. Most of their actions in time past worked against us. But who is there to be so foolish that you create a system that will undermine you? No. We always want to be better than others. The Yoruba has been able to institutionalize their place, I keep saying it, to the extent that these people can give you the figure of Yoruba population. They know. Even though they choose to publish fake figure, they know their population. They know the words of the Yoruba nation. And that is why they can come out and tell you that Mrs. Alakeja is the richest black woman in Africa. After all, Chartered Accountant Institute is pioneered by Akintola Williams. They've been able to build a system that you hardly see them challenging each other. And sometimes few people may come out, challenge Tinubu, challenge Obasanjo, and then before you think there is problem going to be in the Yoruba nation, and then all of them has dissolved it. And then when they want to form Omoteco and the rest of it, you don't even know when they plan it. They put it down. But in the end, this decision does not favor everybody. But then, for the overall interest of the people, it must proceed. And I tell you today, under a sincere note, they do not have genuine reason why they should call even for the breakup of Nigeria. But they can call for a structure that will enable more development and progress of the people. And so, diplomatically, they have strategies to get what they want. And they are not stopping at it. They know how many of their children that graduate from Nigerian university and, of course, every other university across the globe. They have logistics in place that makes them to have important positions anywhere they want to work. You want us to go back and look at the data of SPDC and their mode of operation? It will shock you. And now, in as much as it may not be for the federal government of Nigeria, but it's good for the Yoruba nation. This idea did not fall from heaven. People paid the price for it. People suffered dearly for it. And now they are here. And people will continue to pay the price for them until they become a better nation. Until they attain the height they desire for their people. And so on and so forth. And then if you go to the north, they are of course not as sophisticated as the West. But then they've been able to inculcate a particular idea in the mind of the people. The Northerners first. If you stand against that, you will go down. The Northerners first. If they cannot get that thing by mere confrontation, they will carry gun for you. And if they can't stop you with their gun, they hire international logistics to manage it for them. And so while they are ready to engage you combatantly to get what they want, they may not be educated, but they had every money in stock to pay the best attorney across the globe to make sure even when they are killing you with the AK-47, they still get what they want in the end. And so they have a system going on for them. But you come to the East. And of course, when I talk about the East, I'm talking about the whole of Biafra land. Across every state in Nigeria, I don't see why any particular region can be able to win the president election. It's not possible. The population of Biafrans in almost every state is second to only the indigenes. If they've not over the population, their population is not even higher than those of the indigenes. And then one will begin to wonder, how do they win the election? Why is it that we cannot come out and beat our hand in the chest with our population, with our connection, level of education and the rest of it and say, we can make this happen? We will always be divided. Some will go behind and collect money and sell their PVC. It weakens our strength. But what must come to your mind is that, how much are they giving you for your PVC? Those of you who collected money from Atiku, and then you let it be. I'm not talking about the Kabas, the Juggernaut, the Jagabans of Biafra land. No, I'm talking about you, a common man like me. They gave you 2,000. They gave you 1,000. In fact, then in Rivers State, when it said that Buhari came, that they were going to give them 1,000 naira, I witnessed men and women, children being stampeded just to go and collect 500 naira, and most of them have trekked a distance that even the 500 or 1,000 may not be able to pay their transport. And so we sell our vote, and then we are going to blame somebody for it. Not all of us, some of us. And then the remaining portion of us will go and look for somebody we are going to team up with. At least if our people cannot win it, let me follow the winning party, and then I can now come back and rule my people. You're not going to rule us for long. We divide our interest. I want to succeed alone. You want to succeed alone. You want to be God. You want to be anything. But understand that a tree cannot make a forest. I have worked very hard as an individual to understand that I do fight. But when I fight for all of us to win. I don't fight to win. I don't fight so that I will win. All of us must win together. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter how violent these fights may be. But then we must fight for everybody to win. And of course, I'm having some distorted noise, but we must continue. And so, like I said, before now, our ancestors had a way of coordinating themselves. Within Abia State alone, you have so many tribes coexisting together. before civilization, before the era of government institution, there is practically almost impossible for there to be crisis between any community. One should begin to wonder, how could such large number of ethnic nationality coexist in states like River State, states like Delta State? And of course, these people may have recent premature issues of communal crisis. But I send you back to Bender State, which may be a perfect example of what I'm trying to say. Almost every pole in Bender State is different language. From pole to pole, different languages. But since I was born to this very moment, we have never had need for open confrontation against one another. I never heard about it. Then Bender State was divided into 3 fronts. The Edos, of course, when I say the Edos, I'm talking about the Orion, the Isako, the Ekpoma, the Awuchis, the Benins. They handle administration. They are in charge of protocol. And they can do that very well. And then you go to the other Azis, the Wari Azis, where you have Oli, Abraka, Urubu, Shekiri, and the rest of them, Patani. They were in charge of diplomatic relationship. When it comes to the issue of linguistics, when it comes to issue of defending one interest, spokesperson, PRO, that is their job. And they did their job very well. And sometimes some people will say, Rubunawayo. That word did not emanate as a result of trying to say they are liars. They understand at a particular point in time, based on the prevailing challenges, their children must be educated. They planned well. And so within a particular time, let's say in the 80s, for almost a decade, they made sure that every, of course, when I say Ijo, I'm talking about Patania, Braka, Lewakrike, all of them put together. They make sure that every of their son, of course, Urubu and Shekiri to be precise, face them on one direction. Law, 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 law. And so they have free lawyers waiting to defend issues. Bendel had peace. And then you come to the Anyoma Azis. We could be a bit of like both of them. But our job is to defend the territory if there is a war. And so if you go back on that history setting and find out how many soldiers the day of Agbo control, not just right from Obikechuku, the father of the current king, the day of Agbo, down to Baliki, down to Mariri, and the rest of the kings. And so there were systems put in place to make people who would have been considered as different, but they were able to function for over hundreds of years. At the same time, there is harmony. The people who build these systems are no more. There are people who have idea of this knowledge, they are there. But we still continue to enjoy the benefit to this moment. Now, it's not about Bender State, but I'm giving you a clear example of areas I know. It is about Biafra land. I can't say that Cross River State hosts the largest ethnic nationality coexisting in a particular geographical area as far as Nigeria is concerned. But go there. They remain one of the states in Nigeria that comes out every year, organize a celebration that enables them to function as one. What do they call it? Carnival. Governors and everybody goes there. But you don't know that the number of ethnic nationalities coexisting in that place is unbelievable. But something made it possible. And so, the Igbo man of Cross River State, the Akampa man of Cross River State, the Ugebo man, the Ugoja man, the Tinapa man, the Calabar man, even without understanding each of their language, the Obobora man, they can come out and in less than 1 minute, decide on what they want and they push for it. And so what I'm trying to say in effect is that these things we are talking about was part of our life. Because, I've been Igbo man. I've been in Niger Delta man. Our fathers were, all these things were alliance to them. They know nothing about it. He said that you are referred to the upland, the heartland, or you are referred to the riverine, Mbamini. And if we were to dabble into those areas, we have a symbol of the tiger that has spots, Ago, as a symbol that represents the Biafrans that live on the heartland. And then you have a symbol of the crocodile or shark as the symbol of those who live within the coastal region. And so in a general market or gathering, your symbol tells your neighbor where you're coming from. They had a system put in place. They defended their territory. And of course, the colonial master, when they came into our land, they were able to divide us one after the other. They knew everybody, because they knew that within us lies a unique ability. And if they can identify the difference between our ability, and then they could checkmate us. And that is how they begin to separate us. And then we now understand that, Calabar people can cook very well. Okay, Igbo people can make palm oil very well. Okay, Abo people can make cassava very well. And then when they want to starve us of cassava, they attack Abo. When they want to make sure we don't have palm oil, they attack Igbo. When they want to make sure we don't have food, they attack Calabar. And so it was able to separate us and keep us exactly where they want us to be. But before then, people created this system that makes us one impenetrable unit. And not until like every other region like the West and the North is put together. I mean, we are put together, recuperating each component member to create one impenetrable unit. This could be forged through the forces of iron. It's okay. But the goal, the last target should be in the list of our priority. Number one among our list of priority. And so what we are actually trying to do, what we have been trying to do all these years, is to create a platform where all of us can come together. Do not think the Middle Belt, for instance, understand themselves. In Benue State alone, you have, in fact, within the Domas family in Benue State, most of them don't understand themselves. Are we going to talk about Agatu? Does Agatu understand what Zakembia man is saying? Does Zakembia understand what Lengbecho is saying? Lengbecho, do you understand what Umbulo is saying? But these are the same people. And so within a particular family over the years, they've been able to manufacture languages, which differs from each other. But yet, the Idoma man, at least of this moment in Benue, recognize the Idoma man in Enugu. They recognize the Idoma man in Ebonyi State. They recognize the Idoma man in Cross River State, referred to as the Yala. A system was in place that made all these things possible. We neglected it. The enemy of our people helped to put asunder that which held us together. And that is when Chini Achebe say, things has fallen apart. That which held us together has been taken away. And if you go back and find out what led to those things, it is because Okenkwo, with the level or height he has attained in terms of fame and glory, would rather prefer to insult the gods than to allow common sense to prevail over his reasoning. He was simply advised, that son called you father, do not have hand in his death. But of course, he's a Bubedike. He got to keep making people believe he remains Ebubedike. But the moment he laid his hand on that boy, Obiareka, nature itself turned against him. A very painful story anyway. But then, Chine Achebe was not just giving us a story. Chine Achebe becomes the custodian of who we truly are. But this having been said, there was a system that brought us together. And people came and separated us. Because we had all it takes to defend our territory. We all started from one place, if I will use that word. If we begin to narrate how we used to live in those days, there is no difference there. But today, it is true we want development. And so everybody claim autonomous. But this autonomous that we are claiming, which is creating more division and taking us to nowhere. Or we neglect some of these things and focus on what will give us one voice. Today, I am not sure the Biafrans know their population. We can only guess. Today, I am not sure we have record of our financial capital base as a people, even though you may have people like Okonjo-Iweala. Today, I can assure you that we cannot, nobody in Biafra land can come out, no group, organization can say, I guarantee the safety of my people. But we all have learned to rest or rely in the arm of faith. And God has been faithful to us. I will have to take a memory back to time when all these things were put together. It was not easy. Most of the things we were encountering today from the hand of the colonial masters were originally designed to keep us down. And then we have been down for so long. We need to revisit the history of how we got here. And then maybe we'll begin to make amends. And that journey starts when we are able to create a platform where there is no discrimination, where there is no cabal, where we are not ruled by the will of man, where we have rules that guide and principle that leads, where we understand that everything we do, whatever we say, must be for the collective interest of the people, where every man is encouraged to work hard. The men are encouraged to love their wives and protect their women. Not until we get there. Believe me, the journey has just begun. And I can assure you, the night is fast spent. Our people, like every other region in Nigeria, have not been able to design a kind of society that will enable us, system that will enable us coexist among ourselves. The division is getting wider every day. We must understand that our fathers before us, even with the unique differences among them, were able to create a system that made them to coexist. Today we have been preaching this gospel to Biafrans all over the world for over a decade now. Over a decade. We have been telling them, come together, let us come together. Let me tell you, you can choose to run back and think it doesn't concern you. When they are done with the Igbo man, I'm very sure they will come for the Ijaw man. And then when they are done with the Ijaw man, and then they will come for the Edo man. And then the rest of us are gone. But trying to speak in practical terms, if we are able to recongregate, this will give everybody the opportunity to express themselves. There must be equal right. There must be freedom of speech. And everybody must have the platform to make contribution to whatever it is being organized. You can imagine the legendary story of King Arthur and the 7 Knights. You understand that for him to be the king the people had longed for. And then every commoner must be given the privilege to stand even with the nobles when matters of utmost importance are being discussed. It may be a legend anyway, a story, but whatever principle or philosopher behind that idea, it kind of throw a light on how we can coexist. A lot of damage has been done to the very fabric, foundation of our existence. But it can be amended. It's not late yet. It can be repaired. And so that is why here, our job is simple. We're not here to carry gun for Nigeria. And come to think about it, even if we want to carry gun for Nigeria, we now come here and be boasting. Does that guarantee victory? We're not going to fight anybody. But come to think about it, even though we want to fight them, then we come and announce it. I'm going to fight you tomorrow. Prepare for me. Mbada. I have seen people. I have seen groups. The most intelligent. If you look at the history of the Europeans, the British to be precise, how they were able to rule the whole world. It's a little wonder. It's a miracle. I try to study their characters. And if I use a particular word for what I discovered in their character, and it's going to look as if I'm being unfair. But even at that, a very particular system helped them to rule the world. During those era, they have a school where they taught them gentleman conduct. The gentleman conduct education was to enable the noble, the generous, to conceal their intention without giving a false alarm or true alarm of what is going on. You slap a gentleman, he gives you a smile and say, bless you. Very well, then they walk away. And you think it's okay. We need to be able to come to a stage. You can imagine if the Biafrans say we want a president, for instance. You can imagine if we can mobilize our people to do that. You can imagine. You can imagine if we come out with the momentum we have gathered in IPOB over the years, if our energy and resources were channeled to the right direction, you can imagine. Everybody in Nigeria were sick when we say no election. They were practically sick. And the world want to see what we can do, how we can do, how it's going to be. But of course, there is no platform for consultation. Only one person has final say, and they don't give a damn about who you are. Tonight, I tell you, if you are listening to me, to be able to achieve this, every one of us must prepare our heart and be holistically ready to explain oneself, as well as open to questions and answer, even correction. We must get ready. When I work with comrades, there is nothing I love more than a platform where we challenge each other. Challenge each other to bring out the best in us, not to run each other down. If we get there, nobody will be carrying AK-47 saying they are Fulani headsmen. Nobody does that. In our normal defense, we were having some issues being discussed. And then somebody said, we're going to do like this, we're going to do like that, and we will not allow them. I said, but most of these Fulani men are occupying the land sold to them by our own family members. And so if you want to kill them for buying your community land, and then maybe they have the right to kill our people who buy their own land. Now, I'm not trying to say what they are doing is right, because in my place, you do anyhow, you see anyhow. And then if I have a property to sell, I certainly will sell it to the highest bidder. But then buying a land in my place does not give you the right to come and start raping my people or kill my people. Because my brothers who bought in your place are not raping your people. They can't even friend your girls. And now you are not here to friend our women. You are raping them. Now you cross the boundary. I say each case must be properly reviewed before there can be any form of response. And some people who are actually very zealous would say, no, we got to do this way, we got to do that way. Was an open discussion. But in the end, we disagreed and all of us agreed. It is our right to self-determination. And we have the right to defend ourselves. But when your right to self-determination begins to encroach in the right of another, and then something is not right. And if my trying to defend myself will make me think the word, and then maybe there's need for me to re-evaluate the level of damage and reconsider my actions. This having been said, you cannot shy away from this mission. You cannot shy away from this journey. But rather, every Biafran, anywhere you are all over the world. We have started the family already. There are many pro-Biafran groups out there. We may have different approach and ideology. I encourage you, get involved somewhere. Keep doing what you are doing. Of course, here on Biafra Nation Family, we have our family units all around the world. And I want to believe that very soon, we'll begin to give you out the names of the administrators as well as their phone number. And so don't break your WhatsApp. Don't break your Facebook Messenger. Keep your line. One of the things that gave me confidence in all my encounter in this journey was that if for any reason I appear before a competent court jurisdiction, nobody can find me guilty, because we operate within the preamble of law. Not like now. And honestly, when I was arrested by the DSS, they could not ask me for that question. Because each question they ask me exposes them to their wrong. And they understand. And so if we're operating within the preamble of law, those who who have the legal tools or equipment, let them engage the nation. And those who have the support of the common man, mobilize our people. Because somewhere along the line, we will need our mad people. Somewhere along the line, we will need our sick people, insane people, weak people, poor people. We will need everybody. And so, I encourage you. Follow us on Facebook. You must be rest assured Hopefully, by the grace of God, few days or months from here, we will have our transmitter everywhere in Biafra land. Our TV must be up and running. Everybody must understand. We are from Idoma, Iyala, Igala, Bitorum, Banom, Bisi, Amando, Bankwiri, Olo, Patani, Otueke, Urobo, Shekiri. Anywhere you are as a Biafran, I want to encourage you. Look for a way to contact us. What we want is the best for our people. And like we have started saying before now, it is our intention to engage not just Nigeria, but the global community through the laid down principles. And those of you who think you have what it takes to make these things possible, this is the time. This is the time. And of course, at this moment, our lines are open. Our WhatsApp line is 070-815-45642. Our WhatsApp line, I repeat once again, is 070-815-45642. And of course, if you are outside Biafra land, Nigeria, you can add +234. And then our direct line is 081-221-52971. And as far as this line is open at this moment, you're free to call in. Make your own contribution. Express yourself. And above all, guide your loins with the readiness to defend Biafra on the last outpost. If you are not able to access some of these lines, and you have access to my private WhatsApp or Messenger, I can assure you to your call. Once again, I thank you for joining us. We must continue to push. We must continue to work out modalities to ensure that the people of Biafra are ready to take the future into their hand and control the very life that is set before them. I'll be back in a minute.
Biafran's Got Talent exclusive.
After this heavy rain, please let the sun rise.
Our lives are in danger, siblings and more that all day long we have been ruled by strangers. Sing give us Biafra. We are begging you, please.
There's nothing we can do without you. It's only you that will save my life.
Chiko Ginga Biama, you are the one to give us Biafra. We pray.
Oh, just save the lives. We are your children, save our lives. We are like sheep has gone astray. Restore our land and heal our hearts.
Save my life.
Save my life, save my life.
Chiko Biama,
Almighty Father,
we are begging you, please.
We ain't been living here in the zoo. You up them and set us free. We are begging you.
See my people stay at dying. You up your mouth, they're dying. Save our land, we beg you for love.
Tears in my eyes every day. I dey cry. Nothing else I'm asking for. Lord, give me Biafra.
Yes, caller on WhatsApp, your name and where are you calling from? Caller on WhatsApp.
Yeah, my name is I'm calling from Germany.
Yes, good evening from here. Go ahead, please. The world is listening.
Good evening. George Onyibe, I thank you very much for what you have been doing. I appreciate what you are doing, but there are just some questions I just wanted to ask. It's not all about anybody. but generally for everybody, you know. I just want to know the reason why, because I have asked IPOB this question and to give to me. And I'm asking you now, why can't we generally, we the freedom fighters, being from NLC, from IPOB, from human rights, why can't we come together and settle the differences? I mean the leaders, they come together, they settle the differences, and we move on. Because when we are together, it will be when we are together, we can fight our common enemy. Because as we all know, our politicians, they are our common enemy. We cannot leave our politicians and start fighting the Abuja people, the Hausa Fulani people. It's uncalled for. But we will start from scratch. This is what I want to know from you.
Okay, I will try and let's visit every aspect of your question. Now, first of all, there is so much noise on your background. You can move away from the children. Now, being sincere to the whole issue, the other pro-Biafran group already are on the same platform. There are consultations and meetings and series of discussion going on. We have come to a point where we understand that no single one man, everybody acknowledged it. So to get the freedom, every pro-Biafran group must be guided by their principle and protect the ultimate interest of the agenda, which must be the overall progress of our people. And so I am not at liberty to start now and tell you, now as I'm talking to you, we and Governor Mahi is discussing how to bring Biafra. They will pick him up tomorrow. And so because we didn't say, most of them may be making effort to help us have a better stay in or out of Nigeria, does not mean these things are not being done. You can testify that we are not ignorant. We are not naive. So that on that aspect, we are working on that already. Everybody knows. Every pro-Biafran group, if you notice, there is a kind of calmness on the media. It's only maybe me and Onyibe for, then maybe you'll be the few of us that are being attacked. But everywhere it's almost calm because everybody is going home already. We have started reconverging already. And then on the second one, you say our politicians, our enemy. But I don't agree totally with you. I agree partially because these people would have understood that we are the one they are representing. They should have made, or they should be making more effort to give us basic life amenities, make it at our disposal. But that having been said, we have never called them to order before. We've not done that. I've never seen any state where the people come out and say, Governor, you must resign. Governor or Senator, you must come down. How is it you stay here, so here? I've not seen it. All we do is they give us money, we start rejoicing. We call them God, we praise them. And if we have not been able to get to a level where we make them understand that they redeem accountability, my brother, I do not think we even have the moral right to question them. Most of us who are not politicians are part of the thing that is making our politicians to behave the way they behave. And this having been said, we need to create a system now that will make everybody place his leg inside on the plouch, and then everybody speaks their mind. The Yorubas understand this. The Northerners understand this. We are the only one who lack this knowledge. We will continue to walk towards that direction until everybody come to the full knowledge in maturity, should I say, of faith on sovereign nation, Biafra, and then things will change, believe me. Go ahead, please.
Okay, George Onyibe, I want to say something here. You said because there is nobody that have ever come out to tell the governor or anybody to step down.
call them to
Do you
order.
believe that? Do you believe that there are democracy in Africa generally? This is number one.
I don't need to believe. I know there is democracy.
Okay.
But democracy is also
In
influenced by the character of the people who profess it. I can tell you categorically that democracy in Nigeria has nothing to do with democracy in America. And so the character of the people influence it. Go ahead.
Okay, God bless you. But do you know that when people come out to protest in Nigeria generally, the government will send the soldiers, the police to kill and arrest people.
Yes.
They have already put fear. They have already, both of us, we are Nigeria. Now, currently now we are Nigeria.
Yes.
But we all know what is happening in that country.
Yes.
They have already put fear in people's minds.
Now let's go back.
You know what?
Yes.
Secondly, they take religion to divide us. I'm not sure people will come out.
Let me answer your question one after the other. Okay? You say nobody can protest in Nigeria. This was just recently. When we started the movement under IPOB, we went on protest. We took permission. We informed certain people we need to inform. And then Nigerians came out. They shot at us. But then you have Amnesty International and the rest of them coming out against them. There was a little diversion in their mode of approach. And when other tribes protested, they didn't shoot them. People begin to compare what they did to us and what they did to the other region. And then for them to discourage protests, they banned protests in Nigeria. Nigerian government under the leadership of Buhari say there is no protest of any form again. And then if they say there is no protest of any form, what they call, or what Nigerians understand by protest, is we come out on the road and block the road. We can have other form of protest. We can go to the office of MTA and pay them a courtesy visit. Or did they say no more courtesy visit? We mobilize our people, we pay transport fare to MTA head office in Abuja and pay them a courtesy visit. We have 3 questions we want them to answer. And they cannot shy away from it. They either lie or say the truth. Whatever way they begin to, the world will begin to understand that we are engaging these people. The Westerners have everything they want. It is through this principle. The Northerners, of course, are in charge, so they don't even need them. Outside coming out, we no go agree, we no go agree. There are many ways to visit these people. Language will begin to change. When we send message to them over and over again, no matter how hard their mind is, they will begin to either say the truth or stand against the truth. Whatever they do, expose them to the people. And then when we move, nothing can stop us.
Okay, Nigel, I want to tell you something, or should I say ask something now?
You were talking about
I want you to
maybe
you know in Nigeria we are not one. I don't know if you know about this. We are not one. We are not one in Nigeria. This is number one.
Now we are not
and
one.
Secondly,
we are not one, depending on the angle you are coming from. Okay, we are not one.
Okay,
will not be generally be acceptable by everybody, depending on the angle you are coming from. Go ahead.
The angle in Nigeria, in all angle, the Yorubas, which is Oduduwa, the Hausas and the Fulani, which is Nigeria, and the Biafrans, there is no way in all angle we are not one. This is 1,000,000%, which I'm sure of. I'm 40 something years of age. I'm no more a kid. This is number one. And secondly, a protest where they are doing a protest in one state, or should I say one region, while other people are going about their business. You see, this protest cannot fetch us any good. If that one is another thing.
So what are you suggesting we do?
God bless you. I like this question.
You know, Diokpa, let's just be specific and tell ourselves the truth. The people controlling us generally are the white people. We cannot dispute that. They are the one controlling us. And I was in one in one interview.
Hold on. If you believe the white people
Okay.
are controlling us, what effort have
Of
we
course.
made?
Yeah,
What effort have we made
my brother.
to stop this control over our life? Have we done anything yet?
My brother. Okay, this is what I'm trying to say now. This is where I'm coming now. You know, when you read history about the European, about the America, about the Asian continent, they fought and they settled themselves. Nobody was controlling them during those days. First World War, Second World War, nobody was controlling them. They fought their fought and they settled themselves. But we in Africa, these people are the people controlling us. If you remember when Gaddafi said, in Africa, there are no country that has nuclear weapon, no country that build nuclear weapon, that you want to build it in Africa. Because if you watch what is happening in the world now, this is the only thing they understand. Imagine a little North Korea, even America cannot talk to them because they have what you have. So you don't have the right to control them. My brother, look, in Nigeria is like a building which have already decayed. You don't need to be renovated. Nigeria is supposed to go down and rebuild. If we don't, I'm not talking about revolution now. For we to get Biafra, which I believe, for we to get Biafra, we must go through violence, either through war or, in fact, we must share blood. People will die for we to get our freedom. Because we cannot be crying about freedom. And not when the oil companies are still in our land.
Where do you stay? Where do you stay at the moment? Are you in
Correct.
Nigeria?
I stay in Germany.
And you are,
I stay in
you are
Germany.
in Germany and you want us to die here, right? There are some
My
words,
brother,
hold on.
I
There
have
are
a
some
family
words
down there.
some people can even use their family for ritual. There are some things that is not in our power to say. If people must die, let
Okay.
it not be somebody pointing who dies. Nobody leads us to his stable, a sheep before the slaughter, and take our life, and then their own children is in diaspora. Why we are doing that? Adolf Hitler said, first of all, show a soldier that you can die for them. They will be the one who is dying to protect you. There are principles that need to be put in place. We know what we put into this struggle. We handed over to Nnamdi Kanu. We bled for it. We put our blood in this thing. Everything, we were ready to challenge God himself. And then along the line, what do we have? What do we get here? And now, all these damages, if we are not cultured or mannered people, principled individual, it will affect everything we believed in our life. But yet, we are meticulously trying to direct the mind of our people because they are not calling to register their displeasure. I'm in Biafra land. So then they will kill you. The day I will catch them, I will set example with one of them. And so they don't. You are not in the position to do. Do not arrogate the authority, the ability to do it to yourself, except you are there. Why I ask you that question? If you are in Biafra land, you say we got to die. I'll tell you, let us meet somewhere here. Make me and you start up. Others follow. But you are in Germany, and we are here. Akowara is in detention. Nobody is asking of him. And you still think people will come out when he's betrayed by even the people who are supposed to protect him? A lot of damage is in the system already. Any suggestion anybody may be bringing must be geared towards one direction. You must appease the wounded people, the violated individuals. And of course, I say to you, violated individual men and women, you must calm down. You must forgive, even when they did not approach you. Go ahead, please, my brother. Thank
you. God bless you. I want to remind you of something. During the time of If you watch the documentary of Hitler, when Hitler went to war, Hitler know very well that he has there are people who have family. There are children in Germany. There are wives. There are mama. There are papas living in Germany. Hitler know that he's not the only one living in Germany. But as a freedom fighter, when you are looking at all these things, for example, you ask me one question now. I'm staying in Germany, but I have family in Nigeria.
My brother.
Whether you are living in abroad or you are living in Nigeria,
you see,
when it starts, they never know who stay in Germany, who never stay in Germany. It will affect everybody, my brother.
When you are able, family, okay? Now, you are in Germany, and some, okay? Now, you are there with your family. And then your younger brother and their family, if they wipe them away, does it really matter to you? If they ask you now, if God asks you now, I want to take your family or that of your junior brother own, just tell me anyone you talk I will do. Can you ever give up your family for that of your junior brother? Be sincere. Be sincere.
Okay,
hold on.
Judge
Be sincere.
I like this question.
Now you are not in the position to decide for your brothers. I have brothers. Most of them said they can't join the struggle. That is their choice. Most of them joined. That is their choice. And so, when it comes to those issues, you are not in the position to talk for anybody. And that is exactly the same thing we want our people to understand. They must come out. Igede man must come out and talk, speak on behalf of the Igede people. The Igbo man must speak on the interest of the Igbo people. The Edoma man, Efik man, Anang man, everybody must come out. You speak for the collective interest of your people. And then individuals with diverse opinion can register their approval or disagreement. And this is what leads to civilization, I must tell you. Go ahead, please.
My brother, IPOB and talking on social media without no concrete action. You know what we are talking about is in Europe we can sit. Europe, the white people can sit around the table and discuss about this issue and sort it out.
Now that is.
But in Africa, it's very difficult.
Now you are talking. This is exactly what we are trying to do. Because the system is not available.
But it's not possible in Africa.
It is possible.
It's not possible in Africa.
You have not tried it. You have not tried it. It's possible. If you talk about Ojukwu, the war, hold on.
Judge Onyibe, I want to answer your question.
Hold on.
What did Ojukwu went to?
Go ahead.
I'm hearing you. What did Ojukwu went to Ghana to discuss? Is it not Aburi Accord?
He went to Ghana to discuss with the Yoruba and the Hausa on how to restructure Nigeria.
Yeah.
It is said that they unanimously agreed on the plan to follow. And this plan was started by Gowon based on external influence. Okay? But understand, you said the Europeans can sit on one table, discuss issues in place already. The war was brought upon Ojukwu. That is why no ethnic nationality can come out from Biafra land and fight Ojukwu. The only fault was he didn't tell us, we were not consulted. But then we understand the time was upon him. He would not have had the time. In fact, doing consultation would have killed all of us. So he got to take the bull by the horn. And now we have learned from his mistakes. And mistakes of all this. Let us come back to our present position. People formed IPOB and I'm not part of them. They have principle. They choose the man as their leader. And then they tell him, this is what you are going to do. Of course, she was properly inducted. Or should I think in his last broadcast, he said, I command every land in Biafra land to give us land to do farm. Does that sound moral to you? You command Akwa Ibom man to give you land to do farm? Who will manage that farm? You command the Doma man to give you land? What is the difference between you and Fulani headsmen? We cannot lose our head, do the wrong thing and expect to get good result. And sometimes people say, don't talk about, we're going to talk about every nonsense, my brother. Now, understand, there are principles. For instance, when you want to read 1, 2, 3, ordinarily as African man, you say 1, 2, 3, 4. But that 1, 2, 3 is wrong. It's supposed to start with 0. If you deliberately start with 1, you will not have 10. You will be terminated by 9. And so, ordinarily, I want to believe somebody who has idea or who is related to the family of a chartered accountants student will start by 0 and then 1. Because that is the only time you're going to pick the first one, the first 0 and the second 1 and put it behind the 9 to make your 10. There are principles that governs the universe. They don't change. We are not saying we know how it's going to be. We are not saying that we are the custodians of knowledge. Of course, there is God in heaven. We said we want to gather our differences. We want to bring together our challenges. We see our sources, our frustration, and then we look at what is going to be endangered by each and every one of them. And then we'll set a table of priority, scale of reference. And I tell you, some of these things you think is not going to be possible, it will be possible. We can divide Nigeria, even without making noise. We will divide this country because it's expired already. It is gone already. But many things are at stake. Our people are not ready. And if they are not ready and things go wrong, we will use our hand to kill ourselves. You know, when I talk in most cases, I talk in parable. And sometime in my previous broadcast, I will say, if we are fighting war now and I turn, I see you, and you have not been to Aruchuku, I will shoot you myself. That is because at that moment, the family have been compromised. Those who went to Abenokpabe were the genuine IPOB member. And those who went to Igwe Kala were the cabals. They can do anything, but then they have nothing to regret. Go and look at all the people who were championing my blackmail. All of them, 90% of them are in difficulties now. Serious one. Okay? One of them had accident. He's rotting already in the hospital. They have abandoned him. I think he's the first to tell them I stole money for transmitter. And I must tell all of them, all of you IPOB, if you abandon Pastor Jack, God will judge all of you. He was the first to blackmail me. He is decaying now and rotting in the hospital. You have dumped him. I do not call for his help this evening because I know him. I call for his help to reveal your shame. Use and dump. One leg and one hand is rotting. We know everything happening on ground. And now, brother, they may bring him on air. He say, no, IPOB is feeding me, propaganda. But the point is that his family member know the truth. And if they abandon him, none of his family members will come out and join the struggle.
Yes, but George Onyibe, we are not talking about IPOB now.
We are talking about
generally our people. Biafra land.
Understand why IPOB
yes.
And then hold on. There is a reason.
Okay.
We can't talk about freedom without mentioning Nigeria. Am I correct? We can't talk about Biafra. We must mention Nigeria. And in mentioning Nigeria, we must either mention Yoruba, Agosa, or Fulani. But the base or what we are driving to depends on the issue that is being discussed. And I will become intellectually dishonest and unsincere individual. And when I want to sound, and how do they use it? A very polite, very civilized, very normal. And then if I see evil, and then wave it. No. We put our blood in that thing so we can get to our destination. And we got along the line, somebody choose money over our people. I would have been dead, like my brother reminded me yesterday. For this purpose will not die in vain. And that is the only reason that we make elders to come out tomorrow and support any idea that will liberate our people from this predicament situation we have found ourselves. Go ahead, please.
George Onyibe, I listened to your program either yesterday or day before
maybe
yesterday.
You have to try and summarize.
I share your program. You always make sense. But my brother, I will write you private and we discuss. But I just want to tell you something now. If it were Yoruba people, we can sit down round table and discuss. But hence is Hausa Fulani people. My brother, this is the reason why the UK government gave them the power to be controlling us, because they know these people, they are not wise. They don't, in that aspect, they are not civilized. This is the real truth. And the truth of all this, our Biafra agitation, I must tell you honestly, truth. Today I make a video and I said, is agitating for Biafra, all of the leaders who is agitating for Biafra, they cannot come together and settle their differences. Then why are they blaming our politicians in Nigeria? It's the same thing like the politicians.
God bless you.
It's exactly the same thing. There's no difference. This is number one. Secondly, if we cannot come together, take it or you leave it, we can't get Biafra. And they will continue cleaning our every day. Listen, Onyibe, listen, you know you are not in all the states. You don't know what is happening in all other states.
My brother, I know.
They are cleaning our people, either from IPOB, either from here, either from here.
As far as it's Nigeria, my brother, I know. All of them. Just give me your village.
Okay.
And then
God bless you.
I will give you 3 hours to tell you everything happening in your village. We are the Biafran watchmen. We go nowhere. You think say our name with the answer? Give me your village name, and in 3 hours, I will tell you everything happening, even down to your house. Go ahead, please.
Okay. God bless you. But what I'm trying to summarize, let me just summarize this issue now. What I'm trying to say now, where I'm going is that if they start pushing Nigeria to renovate Nigeria, if they start to renovate Nigeria, Nigeria will still collapse. There is no two ways about that. The best thing to do is to bring down the building and rebuild it. If they can go into violence, you cannot get Biafra. There is no two ways about that. They must go into violence because they have come to conclusion of settlement.
Thank you very much.
There is no settlement in peace. And the politicians have been eating. They cannot stop eating. It's never possible. The corruption have already eaten us deep that we need to scatter everything.
Thank you very much.
This is the reason why I told people from starting, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did a very big mistake by doing what? When you are coming out to fight for a country, you are coming out to fight for a nation, you don't have a weapon to back yourself up. It's uncalled for. It's like a shy's play. It's like my children going to kindergarten.
Even the ones that have weapon now. Have you seen them threaten Yoruba? Have you seen them threaten Nigeria? Have you seen them threaten Hausa or Fulani? They are using it to threaten our people. Have you seen Niger Delta threatening their own people? The few small one maybe they collect from police now. It is their own people they are using it to threaten. You should thank God we are not in possession of arm. And all these things are the things we are trying to. If the people do not have a mature mind, there are things, certain authorities you don't hand over to them. I begin to look at people. I check their level of humility. That is what enables me to yield to them. Because there is one attribute, quality, that Satan cannot emulate. Satan is never humble. That is how you get Satan. Satan can emulate the angels of light. Satan can project himself as even God, beautiful, holy, gentle. Consider the nice fruit of the Holy Spirit. Satan has the ability to manipulate and influence and project all of them except being humble. He can never be humble. So we know them by their fruit. Imagine every one of us have gone now. I will stop there. Go ahead and summarize so I can take other calls, my brother. And before you before you summarize, I perceive you are a genuine Biafra. And I will encourage you. Try and join us. Not to be a cabal or gang or antagonist group. But we need to change the mindset of our people. Your opinion is highly welcome. I'm only trying to checkmate what information you are giving to us. But then at the end of my ascertain of about your position, your mindset, you are genuine. Everything you say may not be in line to my favor, but I see sincerity in you. Please don't be discouraged. Please don't give up. We may continue making mistakes, but we will get it right. And this I'm very sure of. And some of the things happening today, it is preparation for the end of this journey. I can assure you that. And then for the other pro-Biafran group you talk about, nobody is sleeping. Forget about these things we are doing. We are going home. When we get home, those who are aggrieved should be able to, in time to come, take their court to a competent Biafran court jurisdiction and then table it there. And honestly, nobody should be praying for maintenance of one Nigeria. But whether they are maintaining one Nigeria, if our people mind are not set, if our people are not prepared, in every front, believe me, we are not ready to welcome Biafra. So, in as much as we are pushing to get Biafra, we are still praying to God to give us a sound mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. But George, Mazi George Onyibe, I must tell you honestly truth. Our people are ready 100% to leave Nigeria. But whereby some people are armless, some people are helpless. You know, nobody you will tell to leave Nigeria that you will not leave Nigeria. Just check out now. Just open border and said everybody should go to Europe. You will not show up to 10 people in Nigeria. The only people you will see in Nigeria is the people that the government is favoring. Everybody wants to leave Nigeria. Nigeria is not good. There is no security. There is nothing. Saying that our people are not ready. Our people are ready, but they are just helpless. They don't know where to start from.
And then
who will champion them?
That is why
who will motivate them?
That is why people like you, I'm inviting you. You can do a great deal. Honestly, you can do a great deal. Our people are in need of a true leader, and we will see one very soon. But we will not stop searching until we see that genuine leader. We keep failing. It's just like a child learning to walk for the first time. They try and they fall. They try and they fall. If they consider the pain that accompanies the fall, that child may eventually not walk again. Okay? And so you need to make them understand. They try and chase away the fear of that fall from them. They walk very fast. I have a church member whose daughter, for almost at the age of 7, refused to walk. And then they were coming for prayer every day. And then one day I asked them to keep the baby on the altar and then leave me and the baby. I was trying to find out if there may be anything wrong in her system. Maybe she's paralyzed, or then, because the legs are very strong to me. Everything about her is okay. But this is 7 years. She can't walk. They have to carry her to school, keep her like vegetable. And then I start watching the girl. And I saw she must have had a very serious fall when she was younger. And that fear prevented her from walking again. And God just laid it to my mind. Drag her around. I held the girl's hand and I said, let's walk. And I drag her on top of the altar. She walked up and down, and then the parents came, and then they saw her holding the chair and walking by her. I said, nothing happened to this girl. She was not paralyzed, she was okay, but fear have gotten hold of her. She needs to overcome that fear. The person I'm talking to you now, she climbs mango tree. And so, some of us may be afraid of our initial encounter. People like you should encourage them to overcome the fear and focus on the journey. I tried it. It works for me. I overcome my fear. I changed the narrative for them. The people who that say, if I catch you, now me they tell them, if I catch you, you get the point now. And so, the point is that you are brave, you are weak. You are strong, you are weak. You are ignorant, you are intelligent. You are upland or riverine. The most important thing is you are Biafra. And what we want is justice for the Biafran people. And that we shall get. Be rest assured. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. I will move on to another call now.
Yeah.
Thank you and God bless you. Just always try to come in touch if possible. Believe me, people like you can do very great deal for our people. Our people mindset need to be redirected to the issue at hand. Our lines are still open, and of course you are free to call.
After this heavy rain, please let the sun rise.
Our lives are in danger, siblings and more that all day long we have been ruled by strangers. Say no. Give us Biafra. We are begging you, please. There's nothing we can do without you. It's only you that will save my life. Chiko King and Biama, you are the one to give us Biafra.
Yes, we must continue. Caller on WhatsApp. Your name and where are you calling from? Good evening from here.
Hello?
Good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Can't you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp. Can't you hear
Yeah, I can hear you.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Good evening from here.
Good evening, dear George Onyibe.
Yes, so our name.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
And good evening to all Biafrans listening, friends of Biafra, and true lovers of freedom. And good evening to our able director, Mazi Okafu Chemefo. Good evening. Mazi Dioba, say thank you so much for the job you're doing. To the last caller, the guy from Germany, I just want him to understand war is easier said than done. War is an undesirable option, and it's not an option. We're not having it as worst as the Northeast. There's a difference, there's a thin line between self-defense and provocative attack. And when he talks about war, does he really understand war? If now, let's just say for the sake of argument, we go into war. Do we know the duration of the war? Is it going to last the next 10 years? When he talks about war, does he really bring anarchy all over the land? We need to look at evidence of Libya. Where is Libya today? What is the outcome? Syria, train their train of thought. Syria war started 2009. Today, Assad is not been able to go down because they have the backing of China and Russia. But irrespective of that, let them go on YouTube and look what Syria looks like. At least let them go and look like Aleppo. When these guys talk about war now, in 1967 to 1970, yes, the war was brought on Ojukwu, and Ojukwu had to do what he had to do. But the question is, how did we Biafrans end up with child soldiers? Now, let's look at the Ambazonians. They're having child soldiers. Let's look at Liberia, child soldiers. Sierra Leone, child soldiers. Now, the question is, on the part of Nigeria, were there child soldiers? These are questions people need to ask. Today, when he talks about the military, we don't have the military on ground. When you talk about the military, you talk about the Air Force, they have different divisions within the Air Force. You talk about the Navy, you talk about the Customs, and you talk about our geographical location. Who is in this struggle with us if we are going into war? What will happen? Do we want to surrender for the second time of no victor, no vanquish? And the truth is, at the end of every war, every warring faction, they still have to sit down and talk. We can relate this to communal wars because most of the communities in Nigeria have experienced tremendous communal clashes that resulted to loss of lives and property. In fact, there's a place in Eleme, I think Ekpor also. The River State government is just trying to resettle them. Let them go and find out how long has the people of Eleme been displaced from Ekporo. I think about last month, the River State government gave them 400 million for a settlement. Now, still in River State, let them go and ask people from Emoha that has experienced huge communal clashes that almost the entire village was burnt down. Let them go back and ask from the people from Ahoda their experience in these communal clashes. It is not child's play. When people from diaspora like me calling to say war, I pinch myself and I said, are they still dreaming? Are these people being honest to themselves? Have they thought about the humanitarian considerations? Have they thought about the crisis? Please, we live in a present day age. 1967 and 70 is not 2021. A lot has changed. Today, you have technology to fight war. We don't even have the missile interceptor, rocket interceptor. We don't have nothing. Some of them will make an argument that Israel is in the middle of these countries and they can withstand the attack. They should know there's an agreement in place. The sort of engine like Rolls-Royce, they manufacture the jet engine. There's sort of weapon they don't sell to the Hezbollahs. And Israel have all these 24 hours defense mechanism watching every rocket and skies. You know, we can relate to back, I think that was 2007 when the Hezbollah attacked Israel. You know, they have the technology. When they shoot their rocket and whatever, they can just, redirect it back to the sea. Do we have that technology within Biafra land? The answer is no. It's easier for we to call in or people to call in and make this suggestion without thinking it through, without having a balanced consideration. Because at the end of the day, he has family in Nigeria. What about him? Is he willing to? Because I know that, those of us in Europe and America, we love our comfort so much. Yes, there's crisis in Nigeria. The current situation in Nigeria is that 1999 constitution, and everyone should support the NINA's constitutional force majeure. Not just NINA's pushing it. Dele Farotimi is also pushing for the 1999 constitution. So many constitutional lawyers have come to add their voice that we need to bring down the constitution. Every Nigerian, that means the word Nigerian, knew this. The 1999 constitution has been best described as the Abu Salami Abu Bakr constitution. Now, in the first chapter, they say we. Who are the we? Who consulted us when they wrote the constitution? How many ethnic nationalities were part of it? And we want to discuss injustice. Let us just discuss it in all honesty. In Nigeria today, there are over 200 ethnic nationalities. But how many ethnic nationalities recognized as a major language? 3. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. What it means in essence, other tribes do not exist if we have to face reality. And that itself is injustice. People today will say the North. There's nothing like the North, because when you go to the North, you have indigenous languages. Have they gone to place like Jang, to find out indigenous languages? Have they gone to Kaduna, Kanu? Let us try to understand when we talk about war. War is the last undesirable option. It will do nobody no good. And at the end of war...
And even if we want to fight war, is it on Facebook we come to announce it? Is it on Facebook?
That's the question.
Fulani headsmen coming to kill our people, rape our women. Have you seen them on Facebook? They just strike and move on.
No,
there are issues that should not even be considered.
What is the amoral? What have they got in place? How many land to Emisa have they got?
We have Yahoo security, Yahoo farmer. everything Yahoo Yahoo. And then we will fight
You know,
Yahoo Yahoo war.
But one thing I'm trying to say to these guys, let them look at what's happening in Northeast. Now, Niger State, there's a particular village that is being evacuated. In fact, they ran for their life. They trekked for 3 days to be able to get to Cameroon. Now, in Biafran land, let me say Southeast or Abia State, from Imo River, where am I going to? Where will my family go to from Imo River? Which country will they run to?
They will run to Opobo, and they are in Opobo.
You see, people need to understand. What now in the Southeast Abia State, which is the neighboring country to Southeast? None. Let them look at the Northeast. When the heat comes from the bandits, Boko Haram, these guys run to Chad. They run to Mali. They run to Cameroon. They have neighboring borders that they can run to. Where are we, people from the South? Where are we going to run to? From Imo River, I'm asking them this question. From Imo River, where will you run to? How many engine boats have you got to evacuate people if push comes to shove? You know, people just make this call and thinking it's funny. It's not funny. Everyone is feeling the pinch, even those in abroad and those in Nigeria. And we must consider this. We don't have the logistics. We don't have any allied. Now, when they wanted to go to Libya, United Kingdom on its own can go to Libya without going with America. But then they have to go with their allied to bring logistics and support and men and boots on the ground together. Today, people are, you know, it's easier for them to call for war. Who is backing them? Nobody. Who is going to supply you? You know, do they want to just cause humanitarian crisis? I still ask them, yes, there are Fulani banditry, there are headsmen, there are kidnapping. The minute we begin to fight the thing we're accusing all these Fulani and bandits, we have our brothers, our sisters committing the same atrocities. You know, there's a video I saw yesterday in Delta State. The lady was kidnapped by her own neighbor. And after they collected 650,000 ransom from the family, they were playing an audio recorded tape of their mother's voice. They shot this woman, buried her in a shallow grave. This is her own neighbor, the same compound. Now, is that being committed by Fulani? Let's fight the crime. There's crime in Nigeria. The minute we develop this mindset of, you know what, let's fight the crime and let's not begin to fight the tribe. You know, so much kidnapping is going on. So much is going on. The lady in Onitsha that goes about kidnapping children, using them for ritual, you know, is that a Fulani woman? I'm not saying that there are no crimes or tribes are not committing crime, but when people call to make this suggestion of war, I ask myself one question: do they have the logistics? If the Air Force and military gunboat begin to hover around the Southeast, let them just go and ask from the people in Olo when the military was hovering over. You know, these guys from IPOB, they only put up propaganda videos. They will not put up the video of children running and crying in Olo. Please, you know, we have better ways to fight these things. You know, going by the principles of international dictates and international law, that's the way. Let's negotiate, even if it's going to take us the next 5 years to negotiate. Let's come together. War is not the option. Whoever is talking about war is not sincere to his or herself. Joba, thank you so much, and God bless you
very much for your contribution. And of course, our people must understand, whatever the case may be, Biafrans are wiser now. Everybody do what you're going to do, but we will engage the global community in a very principled way. And so we call on principled men and women anywhere you are. This is your time. Call on WhatsApp. Can I get your name? Call on WhatsApp.
Yeah. I'm the guy that called before.
Okay, you're calling back again. And so go ahead.
Yeah, I just want...
Go ahead. I know you want to clear yourself.
I just want to clear a little thing. The man that called, the last caller, was saying that did we have the gadget, or what did he say? I can't understand it. But
yes, weapon.
All I'm trying to let him know is that Ojukwu knew what war is all about before he went into war. He saw the First World War.
My brother.
He knows about the Second World War.
My brother.
But I want to correct that man.
Hold on. You have made your point. Ojukwu thought the Biafran war was to be conducted under rule of engagement. But that was not war, but genocide. They never engaged us through the right procedure. They said they should teach us lesson. They said they should teach Ojukwu and his men lesson. Our people lesson that their children will not talk of war again. And so the word watch, they used every manner of, I don't know how to put it. And so don't say Ojukwu knew. If Ojukwu knew the word, to stand. And then we are in a better position to learn from his challenges and then develop means of improvising and of course teach our people to develop defense mechanism, basic principles that will enable their survival, and then we present our matter in an orderly manner. Until that is done, just going to the war is one thing. Ending the war is another thing. It's
another thing. Yes, I know this.
So these are issues that
I know
even though we have to do it, everybody must be informed. Are we ready? They say yes, and then we push. But when one say, I am not ready, the Bible even said, when you are going to war, please find out the people who build new house. Don't let them go to war. Anybody married new wife, they should not join the army. There were people who were not allowed to go to war because God knew they will come back. And if God will have even a detailed information about going to war to that extent, who then are men? It's not talking about it. God told Moses, he told Joshua, he told every Israel general. It is in the law, in the Leviticus, in the book of Chronicle. He said, when you are going to war, find out who these categories of people are and never let them go into that battle because they won't come back. For many reasons best known to him as God. Somebody who married new wife is not expected to go to war to fight with the people of Israel. Somebody who just built a new house cannot be allowed to go and fight the war. This principle spiritually still govern the universe. If they must go to war, they should be the one who will choose to go. And so they are not trying to contradict you anyway. They are trying to express their own point of view from what you have said. So it's
I know.
Not good to
but
defend yourself or go ahead.
Yeah, Diokpa, I want to tell you something today. Do you know that mostly the problem we have in Nigeria, in Biafra land generally, is we that live in diaspora. Do you know the reason why I said so? Why this man, the last caller now, do you know the reason why he's not talking about anything like violence in Nigeria? Because what is happening in Nigeria have never affected him or his family. When it affects his family, now you will still see the same person come out on this radio and start telling you, let's kill them, let's do this, let's do this. And he's not thinking of the people who is dying.
Now it's affecting
who don't
me.
have who to help them.
It's affecting me now.
Okay.
And then I didn't call for war. And if I will call for war, I won't even come on radio here. Okay? So what is actually there is not about who is affected, but the killed principle. There are things we should do at a particular time. You cannot come in December and then start planting yam. It's going to burn up by heat on the ground based on where we come from. So you wait for the right time. You don't lead a soldier of sheep as a lion into war and expect to get victory. And then even if you are sheep and you have time to train your sheep to become lion, you can fight the army of chimpanzee and gorilla, every wild animal, and you conquer. There are principles. America may be seen as world power. I tell you, America will reconsider her decision 1 million times over before they can ever go against any country like Vietnam. Because they had a counter they will never forget in a hurry. So if a whole nation America will reconsider their position before going to fight a tiny rice farmer like Vietnam, my brother, the record of Hiroshima is still there. In as much as I don't want to spill everything out, you are right in what you have said. Reasonable Biafrans are extracting knowledge from what all of us are saying. You did very well, brother. And he was trying to present the other side of the story, which you did not present. It makes both of you even. And then my duty is to make sure that the message coming from Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio is driven home to every of our people in the grassroots. When we get the people in the grassroots, that is the only time the effort of those of you who are intellectuals, academians, opinion molders, leaders of thought, politicians, your input can make sense. But until then, we're not going anywhere. And so we sound the way we sound sometime, not because that is who we are, but because we understand, according to Apostle Paul, we must become everything to all men so that our message can get to them. So when I talk to farmers, I behave like a farmer. When I talk to doctors, I pretend to be a doctor. And when I talk to lawyers, and then I pretend to be one of the attorney generals. So I can drive my message home to them. What they do with the message, after all, will actually define our definite end. Victory that is set before us, or failure. And then nobody blames anybody. Thank you very much. We must continue from there. I truly appreciate your contribution, and like I said, you have a make a stand. According to BD, he said, you don't light a light and put it under the bushel. Bring it out. It's going to help so many people. And Biafrans will thank you for it in the nearest future. Thank you very much, my brother.
Okay.
And of course, as far as, in as much as we are entering close to this program, our lines are still open and you are free to call in. It's not our intention to antagonize anybody. We not protect evil men and women. We have spent so many years blaming one country or the other for being responsible for what we are going through as a people. But then this is the time maybe we have to look inward and then think about what we have done to ourselves. And then if we can't do these things to ourselves, maybe there is need for re-evaluation. And that is what we are doing here. This is, of course, Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station. And I am George Onyibe. It is being anchored by Mazuchuka from Efo. Caller on WhatsApp, are you there? Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp.
Hello, Doba.
Yes, good evening, my brother. Go ahead, please.
Asị m ka m kenekwa gị maka na asị onye asị ya jide ka o ji na-eme ọfụma, mana onye asị ya laa ka o ji ije chọba ihe na-eme gị maka na ọ gbara aka. So that being said, I want to really appreciate you for your good work. May God Almighty, the God that sees heaven and earth, the God that sees the heart of man, continue to bless, protect, and guide you. I don't want to say Chukwu Okike Abiyama because Chukwu Okike Abiyama has been tarnished. Ebinu Babi and Elohi Eloha is the talk of the day now. And they have been made a subject of joke where the man of men think they can switch and manipulate the one they want to flaunt anytime they want. But may the Most High God in heaven be the witness, because me even coming to this platform, still calling to this platform, still showing my loyalty to this platform, is not for anything else. It's for my people to hear the truth, to hear the undiluted word of God, to know that every evil have a reward. Whoever, be you, whatever, You can go to sleep and you not wake up. Once you realize that fact, you would always tread with caution. The love of money has reduced our people to nothing. The love of money has turned our people to monsters, to become unbecomable, to even think they can play God, to even think they can choose who lives, who dies, who could be buried alive. I'm in shock when I hear a lot of things that has happened. Then I begin to ask myself a question. Where is the love? Where is the love? Nna m gwara m na onye gburu nwanne ya na-ada azụ odogwu. Gbuo dike mbọsị ọgụ achọba dike. At this point of time, I just want my people to know that we need to retrace our step. Be you whatever, be you whoever. A lot of things has happened. I'm speaking in spirit. This is not time to point finger at anybody. This is time to unite. We've made a lot of mistakes. I'm not part of it, but I'm putting the message across. That being said, Mazi Onyibe, I want you to know, Onyibe, I want you to know, you are blessed amongst men. Your ancestors speaks through you, if you don't know that. I want you to realize that this time, your people need you more than ever. And what you are going to face from this time, you've never faced it before. Because this is now you are answering your call. Your calling, this is now you've really come out to play your role, to liberate your people, to deliver your people in the hands of evil men. Listen very carefully, my brother. A lot of things has happened. I want to advise everybody, we are no enemy of anybody. What we're doing is just to save lives. Have you ever asked yourself question, why is it that you don't see, our people don't live long anymore? You see somebody, even 20-year-old person died. It used to be a taboo, it used to be sacrilege. It's been a normal life because a lot of atrocities that have been committed. Our land is filled with bad blood, bad energy, hate, despise, discrimination, blackmail, elimination. Where are we going? Ask yourself a question. Anybody that have purpose in this life, you should always remember that what really matters is what you will be remembered of. You might be a billionaire. We know many of them that what used to be, they are talk of time, but they died as evil people. Do you want to belong to that category? Where are you heading to? Some people believe in God. Some people believe in tradition. Some people believe in whatever you believe in. Are you really conscious of that? Whatever you believe in, are you sure that whatever you believe in is proud of you? Can look in your eyes and say, you know what, you've done well for your people. That is what I want to say. If I want to talk, I can talk from now till next 10 years because I have a lot I see in spirit. What I want to advise my people now is, Nnamdi Kanu, my brother, I know you are here. It's time to start fighting it because all these people who sold their life to darkness, they are going to come back, haunt you, haunt your generation, haunt everything about you. It's not going to be funny game. It's already displaying because what is happening now is a very, very classical example that you are losing it. You have a lot of innocent blood in your head that are crying for justice, and it's hurting you very, very bad. This is time to retrace the steps. Nobody is above mistake. Power. People can be power drunk. What do I mean by power drunk? Somebody that never dreamed that they can drive car in their life, and you, because they're been loyal to you, and you bought a car for them as a gift. From that, if they will, some of them, that's the day the loyalty ends. If they don't know the spirit behind the car you bought them. I want people to understand freedom is a spirit, not a command. You telling us you have 2,000 people, 2 million people under your command. They are doing it because of the love they have for their people. A lot of all these people, a lot of us speak on call or make noise with the Facebook. When push come to shove, come down to Biafra land and serve your people, they are not going to be there. But they are doing it because they want to be the change they want to see. A lot of them are doing it just because they still have brother back home. A lot of them are doing it because the love they have for their people. Nnamdi Kanu, what are you doing it for? Why can't you be that change you want to see? We all believed in you. I'm speaking to you. I'm in pain because I used to be one of your fans. I used to believe in you when all this started. When you started this process with Mazuchabo, I was with you, both physical and spiritual. But you let the control of power eat you up that you don't know what you're doing anymore. Obidi Obiano is a very, very good man. You owe that man you owe that man apology to the rest of your life. He played loyalty to you. This man was somebody that made you see the light. This man was tagged with Mania because he believed, where he was heading to. Is somebody that he's made their life easy for himself. He had kids. He has family. He had grandkids all over in abroad. He have nobody back home, but because of the love he had for his people, he did everything. Onyibe, another classical example. This man gave up everything. He was asked, I'm talking to him now, he's still in that zoo called contraceptor. Nobody asking how he survived. Nobody know what this man even did to be alive today. IPOB has become a channel to announce people's death and how they're gonna be there, and it happens. So what does that tell you? If not for anything, if somebody has one way or the other been there for you, showed you love, believed in you once, if they are no more with you, give them a time of the day. They deserve it. Let them go. Give them a break, because they've give you a chance. And you maybe for one reason or the other, you've let them down. That's why they choose to move on. Discrimination can never help us, because we are one. As of today, during the war, 1960 to 1970, 1966 to 1970, all I know is Ifajuna. But to that Ifajuna, if you are very, very wise and sensible, have that man even had the chance to come and clear himself? Has that man have this chance to come and tell us this is what happened? This is what happened. This is why they tagged him this. Our brother who was Ricky has told us that before Odumegwu Ojukwu died, Timo Odumegwu, may his soul rest in peace, he made him know that anything that can bring war to my people again, promise me you will not put your hand in it. He made that promise. And before Odumegwu Ojukwu died, he architected the APOGA. What does that know? What does them to win it for his people? So anything you're doing that you're thinking you're doing it for your people and you're not getting your people involved, you're not exercising every possible means to achieve your aim, then you are the most useless person on earth. Ndị a na-anwụ anwụ ọkwa nne mụrụ ha, jụkwa ndị nne karịrị nwa na-esi ewute. A lot of people that died during the struggle that Nnamdi Kanu instigated. You might think, oh, the boys, they went to die. But if their mother is that's their hope, last hope, you will find out that the mother didn't even stay up to 1 week. They still give up because their world is end. Anything we are doing, anything you're doing in life, you don't think about your neighbor. You don't think about the outcome. You don't think about just, not think outside of the box, not always inside the box. For instance, you want to host a party. Before you host a party, think about the outcome of the party. Think about if there is anything that could cause problem in that party. If you're a wise person, don't host that party. If you must hold the party, make sure that you bring, every available ways and means, to make sure people are safe. Because that single incident in that party can ruin the whole thing. Okay, sorry, because I speak in proverb, I speak in parables. You understand, my brother? I want people to understand that this life we are living is not our own. Let's forget about the love of money. As in Nnamdi Kanu, you have betrayed us. You have showed the struggle. You have done a lot of damage to us. All these people that are dying, even if you said you want them to protect our land, fair enough. Let them do it safely. The same you comes public to tell the Nigerian government, you said the zoo government, you're telling them where your people are. They are in this Oruna, in the bush. Tell them location. You will go and kill them. You will come and start doing fasting. You are the betrayer. You will still advise people to, anybody with kill police, kill this. Don't you realize that they have family that are in Nigerian police and army? You are killing these people, you are still killing your brother. I hear one of IPOB members saying that when they're doing that instance, saying that he wants everybody to go and set fire everywhere in Newi. I have to call his name, Ikenga, to set the filling station. He belongs to your brother, if you don't know. Common sense is not that common. Let's start listening. Don't kill your if you hurt your brother. Our people now has gone into farming and all that, all this cow you see, some of them they're our Igbo people, because we are, they do business, they are universal when it comes to business. A lot of our people hire Fulani herdsmen to look after their cow. So you're killing those cows, you are still fighting your brother. All we need is just love, unity. If we need this Biafra, we need to come together and find alternative. We need to unite. God, if that he still not defend himself. That okay, please just give me 2 seconds. Now I will summarize. That Ifajina you're telling me, from that Ifajina time, Wazirika has not mentioned any other person that is saboteur. But Wazirika he told Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu had hijacked his struggle. Then from Nnamdi Kanu now, it's been about 1 million saboteurs and counting. What does that tell you? We are joke. We are disgrace. We need to retrace our steps and unite our people. Nnamdi Kanu, you need to be, you are here to live very well. Join movement with respect as a former. You have nothing to offer. You just need to join hand and support our people, build the nation, build the change you see. Discrimination can never help us anymore because we are one. Thank you very much, my brother, for your time. God bless.
Thank you very much. And of course, reasonable Biafrans across the globe are waking up already, and they are congregating around Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio. This having been said, this is where I will draw the curtain for this evening segment. My appreciation to those of you who were able to call in. I truly thank you. An apology to those of you. I will not be able to take your call at this moment. Tomorrow is another day. We'll continue from where we stop. Don't let anybody to ragmatize you, make you feel that something is going to happen, nothing is going to happen. God will not do for man what man should do for themselves. There is need for us to prepare foundational principles and of course policies that will enable us function as one impenetrable unit as our Father before us did. We must repair every areas that have been balkanized regarding the structure that held us firm together before the creation of Nigeria. And we will get there. It's just a matter of time. As I sign off from here, I remain George Onyibe. I can only say God be with all of us. And for the last time on this very program, if you're interested in joining us, wherever you come from as a Biafran, you are in home, you are in abroad, please inbox me through this Facebook page, Justice Marere, George Onyibe. Just inbox me. And then we will link you up to the family. And of course, while we are doing the necessary things, you will be informed on need-to-know basis. Good night.
Siafo mutiegente wo, siafo mutiegente wo. Boy come do, ayanga walking fun. Boy come do, upone yeni fi. Boy come do, ayanga walking fun. Boy come do, upone yeni fi. Come siafo, mon siegente.